Any 10-year-old child can do this because all they have to do is hold the knife straight up and down, and you produce an edge that will behave much the same Now, I like to test an edge on styrofoam peanuts, because when your edge is really sharp, it just lifts off thin layers of styrofoam. Now, these have enormous advantage for doing larger knives. Now, you can do a knife this size on the 8-inch stone without any trouble. But when it comes to something like a brisket sharpener or a 10-inch chef's knife, then you have to sharpen in segments, and that becomes difficult. But the ceramic sharpener, you simply start at the top and draw all the way, coming down as you do that, you see. Very quick, very positive. Now, where ceramic is concerned, this has become my strong favorite way to sharpen. We sell this ceramic sharpener that's Missouri walnut, and the rods store inside it so that if you drop it, the rods are less likely to break. They're very fragile. So you do not want to drop them on the floor or on a hard counter. And our field sharpener, which has 2 diamond rods, and 2 ceramic rods. Now these are dark in color, but they're identical in material to the larger 9-inch rod, which is suitable for kitchen or camp. Now, in addition, both the diamond rods and the ceramic rod have a V-groove for sharpening fish hooks. But if you get your knife dull, if you have a cheap knife, it'll dull quickly. You can restore the bevel with the diamonds and then put a finished edge on with the ceramic. That's a 30-degree angle, and the lid gives you protection, so if you miss, you hit this instead of your knuckles. And once you put the rods away, that snaps shut. You put it in your hunting coat or in your backpack. That's why we call it a field sharpener. $39.95. Now, here's the magic thing about this material. Here's a knife $140, as fine as you can buy, as a VG10 center core and an attractive Damascus layer on each side. Well, for $15 you can buy a cheap knife or take your grandmother's old carbon steel knife, and once it's sharp, you can maintain that edge forever by every time you're using it, you simply finish with a stroke on each side. And for the rest of your life, you can have a knife that will do that. When you're sharpening, you'll find streaks of black, and that is steel, deposited on the side of the ceramic. This will build up until you're black over the entire surface, because all you need to do is turn to a clean surface every time you sharpen something. When it builds up with a coverage of steel, it will quit sharpening. At that point, you take an inexpensive eraser made of rubber with silicon carbide particles embedded in it, and that very quickly removes the steel from the ceramic surface without cutting the ceramic. Now, the reason I put this paper here is to collect the rubber and carbide particles without getting them on your wife's kitchen table or kitchen counter. Now, once you've cleaned it, it will sharpen like a brand new rod. Now, the reason you don't buy off brands of ceramic sharpeners is because some unscrupulous people go to someone who makes telephone insulators, the big brown covered ceramic. That material will extrude and look exactly like this. But once you get it dirty, it will not clean and resharpen. Now, for just a few dollars, you can buy a sharpener like that, but you've wasted your money. These are expensive. Go to Coors and offer to buy 5,000 of them and see how expensive they actually are. Now, when you've finished and you've got all this debris, you simply fold it up, because you don't want it on your kitchen floor either, and put it in the wastebasket.